Hey everybody, it's Gypsy, and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. And today I'm going to show you how I make my applesauce. I don't have like a recipe, it's just one of those things I just do. So I will show you how I do it. Now, there is a farm nearby who sells their seconds. Now, seconds are, the apples that might have some blemishes on them, that they don't feel they can really sell at a top price. So they'll put those aside and they will sell them at a very reasonable price. Now, I never need my apples to look good. They're usually going to be made into applesauce, apple jam, or a pie. So I like to buy the seconds. Now, when I make my applesauce, I like to combine two different apples. I like to do a sweet and a tart, just like I do with my pies, okay? So, I used these two apples, which I have never heard of before, never tried them before, and I made the applesauce from the other night for dinner. Came out really good. And these are more of a milder flavor. So, what I'm using, this is called a mutsu, M-U-T-S-U. And as you can see, it has these blemishes on them. They're going to be cut off anyways. And this one is actually the sweeter apple. This one here, this is called an Ida Red, I-D-A, red. And this one is more of the tart apple, okay? So, we're going to get started. It's very easy to make applesauce, very easy. Much better than you get in the jars at the grocery store. And also, you can make your applesauce any consistency you like. You can make chunky or smooth or anything in between. That's what's really great about making your own. You can put in what spices you want and how much you want to sweeten it or not. So I always prefer to make mine, and I also feel, of course, it's healthier. So, give me a moment and we're going to get started. So, like I said, we're going to start with peeling, coring, and chopping the apples. This is my second one of these things. I use it to peel my apples and potatoes. It's supposed to be able to core and slice. My first one that I bought over 30 years ago worked beautifully, and I would just zip through apples and potatoes like crazy. This one, for some reason, no matter how I adjust it, it will not core, okay? And it barely peels very well, but it is quicker to put it through there, and then anything that didn't come off, I use my paring knife. So it's quicker for me that way. But because I cannot get this thing to core, I use this, okay? And this will core and slice it. And then I'm taking my slices and I'm chopping them up like this and putting them in my pot. And then, of course, I have this. This is my container that I use every day. I put my food scraps in here. So then I can take them out back and put them in my compost. Okay? Anyways, I'm going to continue on here. Oh, and another thing my original one had from back in the 90s, instead of this thing, which never ever sticks to the counter, even when it's perfectly clean, it had a clamp, and you clamp it to your counter or your table. Works really good. I love that one. I wish I could find it again. So, anyways, I am going to continue on with preparing my apples. Okay, so I have all of my apples chopped. This is almost a pack, but not quite, because I used some of them to make a smaller batch of applesauce the other night. So now what I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil and then down to a simmer. Okay, so I'm going to add some water. For this amount, I think I'm going to do about a cup. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to do between medium high and high. Okay, so I'll listen to make sure I know when it starts to boil, because I want to turn it down right away. Okay, and then when I turn it down, well, I'll let you know. Okay, I hope you can hear, but the water at the bottom of my pot has started boiling. So I'm going to turn this down right now to about medium, just to have it simmering. Okay, now what I'm going to do is allow it to simmer, oh, I don't know, maybe a half an hour. And what's going to happen is your apples are going to start getting soft and breaking down. You also want to come back and very frequently and stir. You don't want this to burn. And you'll see them getting softer and breaking down. So I will get back to you at the next step. Okay, so I have had my apples simmering for approximately 25 minutes. And as you can see, they're breaking down very nicely. Now, what I like to do at this point is take my masher thingy. It's a technical term. This is what I call. I keep hearing my mother from the other side of the veil telling me this is a ricer. You would think in the afterlife there'd be more fun things to do than stand here and watch your daughter cook. You know, like go with my dad to Las Vegas and take that trip that they had planned that they never got to do, because they always said they were going to do it after my dad retired. My dad never made it to retirement age. He died at 58. My mother died last year at 83. So they never got that trip. So let that be a lesson to you, everyone. If there is something you really, really want to do, don't say, I'll do it later, like after retirement, or just do it, because you never know what life has in store for you. That is something I learned from my parents' situation. Just live. Do your thing. Because you don't know how much time you or your loved ones have. So just do it. So anyways, back to applesauce. I just kind of like to mush mine with this every once in a while. Ooh, this is looking lovely. You know, just to get my sauce the consistency I want it. Now this does need to cook down a bit more because some of these apples are being stubborn. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is add my sugar and spices and everything nice is. Okay. So again, I don't have a recipe, so I don't measure. I'm going to lower this just a bit though. I'm just taking some sugar. I have, in the past, sweetened my applesauce with honey. That's amazing. You might want to give that a try. We go through a lot of honey here, and it does get expensive. So this big of a batch, I think I'm going to just go with sugar. Okay, I'm just going to stir this in. Whoops, don't slide on me. And I will, after I let this simmer in, I am going to taste, see if I have the right amount of spices and sugar in there that I like. Then I'm going to add some cinnamon. I do love my cinnamon. And I like to put nutmeg in mine. Of course, if you like to put anything else, whatever you want, make it your own. Maybe cloves, allspice. So I'm going to grind my nutmeg in. Oh, it smells good. I love that smell. Cinnamon and nutmeg are my favorite. Nutmeg is always like a very warm aroma. I love it. It reminds me of the holidays and family get-togethers. I think I might lower this a little bit more. We're getting awful thick here. So I'm going to stir this in. Oh my goodness. Oh, it smells so, so good. That's one of the things I love about fall is all the cinnamon and nutmeg, those aromas, all those wonderful spices, apples and pumpkins. I don't like what comes after fall, winter. Oh, you guys, we might be getting a little snow at the end of the week. It doesn't sound like anything significant because it said possible rain and or snow. So at that point, we don't usually get a whole lot. It's just when they say like snow, and it might say like 80 to 100%. It's going to snow then. Real snow. This will probably just be flurries or maybe a little dusting. I don't know. Now, I think I'm going to give this a little bit longer to simmer. You know, when you don't have a recipe, you just do everything by ear. Now, I do know when I make small batches of applesauce, simmering it for 30 minutes is the perfect time. But I do have, well, almost an entire pack in here. So, maybe just a little while longer. It is definitely chunky. I think I want it a little bit smoother. So I will get back to you guys in a second. Okay, so I have my applesauce where I want it. I did add a little bit more water because it had gotten very thick. I added just a touch more sugar when I tasted it. It was on the tart side, which I love it that way. I added just a tiny bit more sugar and some more cinnamon and nutmeg, and now it's just the way I like it. As you can see, this batch, it is slightly chunky. It's not like big chunks or a lot. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up. I'm going to water bath can this for, well, not approximately. Never say approximately with canning. I'm going to water bath this for 25 minutes plus elevation. So what that means, it all depends on how high up your elevation is, how long you water bath can. So you start with the base that's 25 minutes. I am somewhere around 1,000 feet elevation. So I'm going to add another 5 minutes to my water bath canning. And I will do it for 30 minutes. And I am going to put these jars of applesauce away for future use. I will be using one for Thanksgiving. In fact, no, I better not. I was going to put it in the freezer, but we never have room in there. I'll just can it and wait. So, I am going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.